the bus is still free, which is good. It's bloody packed though. There's a lot of people on board today. There it goes. A few kilometres up the road. I've never been down the whole route. But like I said, it's a freebie, so I suppose if I really want to check it out, it's coronavirus time is probably the best time to do it. So yeah, another breezy day, unfortunately. Very nice to look at, but not really designed for two people at a time, that bridge. Anyway, yeah, it was absolutely packed with people. I have not seen as many people around Cairns since this coronavirus. It's just, this is more than normal before the virus, so I don't know what's going on. I guess people, if they've been cooped up, they just want to get out and about again, I guess. I assume that's the psychology behind it. So, see how we go. But yeah, I just posted a video today on this medico that was called Professor Shutdown in the UK. A total over-the-top predictions of 2 million Brits dying from coronavirus. It reminds me of the stuff that my old mate Tim Flannery from my university, I stayed at the same level as he did in college actually, so I actually know him, but he also came up with these dire predictions about the climate, and this professor's doing the same thing when it comes to the virus. It's like an industry just scaring the crap out of people, and it's causing a lot of economic disruption. And they say that the suicide rate's going to go up about 50%, which will be much greater attrition rate than anything the virus would do. I was just casually observing what the economy's like from what I've seen in retail the last 2 days. I'd say we're in a boom rather than a corona recession. I mean, Dan Murphy's absolutely packed out again, and the same with Officeworks yesterday. It's just incredible. There seems to be a lot of people out and about shopping right now. So I don't know what to make of that. That's just my casual observation. It's certainly not scientific, but you know, as I say, if I was just dropped down on this planet and asked to, you know, see what I think of the people's behaviour, I'd say that they're actually spending like crazy. Yeah, strange. Just like I say, people everywhere, big groups of people. There's Mother's Day on Sunday. I don't know if that's got any bearing. It wouldn't have any bearing on Officeworks though. And like I say, stack of traffic on the road too. Oh, go figure. Look at it's a white bus. I couldn't pick it. Being the blind man, I sort of recognise them by the colour of the actual bus, which is normally blue. For some reason, that one's painted white, so that totally threw me. Luckily there was someone actually getting off at the stop I was waiting at. Otherwise they might have gone straight past. So yeah, it was alright. Got a direct bus trip back from Dan Murphy's too, so didn't have to go via the shopping centre, which I did do the first time. Not a big deal. But the price is right, it cost me nothing. But like I said, people everywhere out and about at the moment. It's funny because there's no tourists obviously, because they can't get here, at least not by plane. So you would think it'd be quiet, but no, apparently not. There's a lot of locals that I guess, like I say, they've had cabin fever and they're just breaking out and enjoying being outside. I assume that's what's going on anyway. I haven't got much food for tonight. I have to think about, maybe I might have to go to the supermarket, but I might not. I might just have minimal amount to eat tonight. Sometimes I just don't really feel like eating a great deal. Anyway, I got my gin to keep me warm, so that'll keep me occupied. Oh, just like yesterday, totally packed out at the supermarket today. Actually, I had to wait some time to even get inside. Got to admit though, even though it was a hassle waiting in the line, it was a little more pleasant inside the supermarket. There wasn't quite as many people in the aisles, so that obviously reduced the number overall shopping, which actually did make it better. But probably not the best time of day to go in the afternoon on a Saturday. Seems to be very busy, especially with Mother's Day tomorrow, I suppose. But also I noticed that just like Woolworths, the duopoly coming into play again, they've got exactly the same sort of supply of toilet paper on the shelves. They're all brands. There's no generic stuff, none of the cheap stuff. And overall, my bill is definitely higher since the coronavirus than it was prior to it. So you just can't get the same specials you used to get. So I did get some green peppers though. They're $4.50, which is still above what you'd normally pay for them beforehand, but it's about the best deal I've seen for a while. I did see the same price at Woolworths, but they were really scungy looking green peppers. They were really tired, so I wouldn't want to buy them. But these ones look pretty fresh, much better quality. So that was good. But yeah, I got myself a chook, which is always versatile to have that to make up a number of meals. And I might end up, well, if I've got all the ingredients, I'll actually make my normal spaghetti topping that I make with tuna base. That's what I usually use, green peppers. I haven't done that for a while, so this will be the first time in ages I've made that meal, so that'll be good. Oh, finally the wind's dropped off. Of course it blows as soon as I start recording, but yeah, it's been incredibly blowy the last few days, and it's just gusting again. Well, that's my third attempt at doing this video today. It's been gusting so much. It's very annoying because you can't predict the weather at all, the wind. But anyway, I just got some stuff at Woolworths, and it was reasonably quiet. It's quiet today. It's Mother's Day. There's not that many people out and about. But it's always a bit busier down here because the supermarket definitely attracts people. Apparently there was some statistics about the suburbs with the highest mortgage stress, and in Queensland some of the top ones are in this area. It's actually central Cairns, Bungalow, which is just across from where I am, and there was another one that was really close by as well. But right around me, North Cairns also was in that area, was in that list, and but Parramatta Park didn't crack a mention where I actually live, so that was interesting. Might be because there's more flats here, less chance of that occurring. Also, they've had their first coronavirus person here in the Cairns area for 2 weeks. So there was 2 in Queensland and 1 in this area. I thought Cairns would initially get really hit hard by it because we have so many visitors from interstate and overseas normally. But it hasn't been the case. It's been pretty quiet up here, which is great. I don't think it's hard to work out what the reasoning is behind it, because in Brazil they're having a hard time at the moment. They've got 10,000 deaths. I mean, small percentage of the population when you consider it, how big the place is, but still, it sounds like a lot of people. And but here, in Australia generally, it's been very, very quiet, which is great. But I don't know if you can just put it down to social isolation. I think it's a mixture of things. It may be the weather. We got it it was closer to winter for the Northern Hemisphere, so I suppose they copped it. They would have got in the brunt of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. But again, Brazil's in the Southern Hemisphere, so work that out. That doesn't sort of explain it. There's a number of factors involved, I think, and partially luck on our behalf, but I don't know. I don't know why we've done so well. It's not just social isolation. I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that. So it's interesting. So hoping that eventually they'll open up the bars, because that's one thing that really pissed off the hospitality industry, that Morrison didn't actually give any real hope to the people running bars and cafes and restaurants. So it's a shame, because I was thinking, surely we can come to some compromise. If apparently people who are outdoors more are getting less of this anyway, so if you allowed, say, beer gardens to be open, logically they would be lower risk than having an interior bar and there's a few of them up here. I would have thought that would be a way of maybe minimising any risk, and there's not much risk here anyway. Ironically, one of the only places we've had a lot of cases is actually the hospital itself, which I suppose does happen because they're good places for breeding infections. And but yeah, that's about the only block of cases that we've really had. What I can gather, it is interesting. Yeah, I must admit I was a little worried about what was going on with the testing at Boca Chica. There hadn't been any news, because my understanding was once that they'd done the first cryogenic test, that would be enough for them to do the 150-metre hop, but apparently that's not the case. And I'm just wondering if there's a bit more caution being influenced at Boca Chica these days because of what happened with the destruction of several of the other prototypes. Maybe they're just pulling back a bit and taking a few more cautionary steps rather than jumping into it at full force. So they're still doing it very quickly, but maybe a little bit more caution is now being used in the testing of the vehicles. Either way, we're doing pretty well. Apparently, it looks as though the SN5, which is the next of the prototypes, is almost completed and is awaiting stacking. And they're starting construction on SN6, so you really can't complain about the progress that Elon is making. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.